The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
What is up, everybody? I'm back with your weekly Impact Wrestling review, and what a show! So action-packed. Typically, a wrestling show kicks off with last week's cliffhanger, and that was Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, right? But that didn't happen. Impact kicked off with their mixed tag team match, Rosemary and Crazy Steve against Brandi and Moose. I mean, TNA, it should have been the other way around, right? If you watched last week's review, you know I was really looking forward to this mixed tag team match, but as always, I'm such a disappointment. It didn't really satisfy me. It was a good tag team match. It was entertaining in its way, but I don't know. It felt like it was lacking something. Abyss was at ringside, so he helped out Crazy Steve and Rosemary. And what I was really impressed about in this match was when Moose picked up Crazy Steve and power bombed him out of the ring on top of Abyss. That was freaking epic. Brandi and Moose do the whole punch and Moose thing. Moose pinned Crazy Steve. We see Mini Moose and Big Moose backstage. Now, currently right now, I'm on Impact Wrestling's website, and it says here, next week on Impact Wrestling, Cody is set to make his return to the six-sided ring, judging by Cody's reaction to Moose and Mini Moose on social media. And then we see Eddie Edwards backstage, and he's in a rush to get into the ring to call out Davey Richards. Eddie's in the ring. Angelina Love comes out. She cuts a promo. She says that Eddie betrayed Davey when he was injured and when she was 9 months pregnant. She was taking care of him. Eddie didn't call. He was too busy chasing for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then she says that Davey will not come out when Eddie asks him to come out, but only when she tells him to come out. It almost felt like the whole Winter and Angelina story again, but this time Angelina has kind of Davey Richards possessed. I don't know if you guys are feeling that vibe, but I was feeling that vibe, you know. You guys remember Winter and Angelina Love? You know, the good old days? I felt like Eddie was more comfortable with this feud, like the way he was just talking on the mic and his reaction. I don't know, I felt like he was more comfortable. What really made me laugh is when Eddie said to Davey, you need to get your balls out of Angelina Love's purse. That made me laugh so bad. So funny. That was pretty good. Eddie challenges Davey to an anything goes street fight, which will be tonight's main event. And then they get into a brawl. We travel to Mexico where, you know, the Broken Hearties are on their expedition of gold. And I just loved how they filmed all of this. Just seeing the atmosphere and just the fans together, it was just so great, and it was filmed so well, and I just loved how they put it all together. It was really great. But this part kind of showed the Broken Hearties looking for the promoter so that they can find and challenge the Mexican tag team champions. The lady squad, Maria, Laurel, and Sienna, arrive to Ralph's bachelorette party. I couldn't even say that. That was difficult to say. This is where I get so confused, because weeks ago, Ali stood up to Maria. I thought we were done with Ali being this passive pushover. I thought we were done with that. Like, whoever wrote this, like, are you feeling okay? Can you not even remember the things you wrote? Ali has decorated Laurel's party, and it's almost like a Valentine's Day party with all the hearts and pink colors going around. Maria is, of course, unhappy with it. This is the part where Maria tells Ali that Laurel is getting married to Braxton. But then you go on social media and they're all tweeting about it, and I'm just like, it's just tiny stuff like that you just need to think about before you present it to everyone. Come on, common sense. We also see DCC backstage. I love how they have like the spikes and studs like inserted into their masks. That is so badass. James Storm cuts a promo. Kingston and Jessie are going to have a match. This is pretty much Eddie's single kind of debut match in TNA. Like, we've seen him in like tag team matches, right? I'm glad he's in the DCC because he really knows how to present himself and just he's so badass. I think Godderz has suddenly become like a fan favorite. A lot of us have a lot of good things to say about him. We've definitely seen him improve so much. Jessie got the springboard forearm and pinned Eddie Kingston. And then the lights go off. DCC are obviously going to be there to attack Jessie. Lights come on. DCC are in the ring and they can't find Jessie because the guy used his brain and got out the ring. Another edition of Fact of Life hosted by Tyrus. Yes. Tyrus introduces Eli Drake apparently has his arm broken because he has whatever that's called. I don't even know. I don't have a brain, so I don't know. I've never broken an arm or leg or anything.
Blessed.
So last week, Tyrus and Eli Drake were against DCC, so it was pretty much 3-on-2. Eli Drake left the match, left Tyrus on his own. Tyrus has a problem with that, confronts Eli Drake this week. Eli Drake has a letter, but this week on Fact of Life, Eli Drake finally breaks his silence. He says that on Open Fight Night, he chose EC3, and he lost in the match. He also says that he paid Tyrus to watch his back and nothing more. And last week, he didn't ask Tyrus to put him in a match against 3 other people. What was really funny was when Eli Drake made the cheeseburger reference. I died. How funny was that? Tyrus grabs Eli Drake and says that he'll see him in the ring next week. We also saw Mike throw Braxton a bachelor's party, and wow, you know, we have a couch potato who's getting stoned with like his e-cigarette and his pills, and then we have Big Belly Ben climbing up on some kind of ladder and jumping on him. Interesting, but what I really liked is my favorite part, when one of the guys took this out. This is one of my favorite films, Bad Teacher, and I totally fangirled. I think I died and came back alive. You know you love a film when you get it on DVD. This is everything to me. Cameron, can I just, like, off topic, but like Cameron Diaz's performance in this film gives me life. I absolutely look up to her. I forgot what her name is in here. I've watched this like 100 times and I still don't know what her name is. Elizabeth. Sorry, off topic. But if you haven't watched Bad Teacher, this was a film that was featured in the bachelor's party, okay? Just saying. Back to Mexico, the Broken Hearties finally meet the promoter, which is Conan. They tell him they don't want money. This is funny. Money is for marks. I laughed and died. I died so many times watching Impact this week. Like, it really cracked me up. They say they don't want money. They just want to be tag team champions. Hardys versus Psicosis and Super Crazy for the Mexican Tag Team Championships. The crowd, the fans, it was just insane in such a great way, and I really enjoyed it. The referee's face was blurred, and apparently the referee is from Lucha Underground, so they had to blur his face. I mean, come on, he's just a referee. Before the match even started, we saw Vanguard 1 with all the ladies. I mean, damn. I've seen Rebby Hardy's tweet. Now, I have to keep this review PG, so I can't say a lot. You know, I abide to the guidelines, but I'll insert that tweet right here. I think it was just such a great way of introducing fans like myself too, I guess you could say, to wrestling that happens outside of the US. I really love how they incorporated all this into this week's show. And the Broken Hearties, yes, they win the Mexican Tag Team Championship bouts. The Tag Team Championship bouts, yes. Duh, brain. Dummy. They win, and they make Vanguard 1 transport them back to, you know, the Dome of Deletion, and then Conan and the other guy try to find the Hardys, but it's a bit too late. And Broken Matt has another premonition when he's at his Dome of Deletion that he will challenge for the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team titles next week. And I really just love how they're kind of partnering up with these promotions. It's a really great thing to see. And you see an interview with Brooke, and she talks about how she's going to shut up Maria for once and for all, and how she's going to have a match with Sienna. And then we have a Brooke versus Sienna match, and of course Maria is alongside with Sienna here. I just love the energy Brooke brings to the match. She's always just on fire. She gets into the match. Sienna tries to get the AK-47 on Brooke. She misses. Brooke turns that into a roll-up and gets the pin. Pretty good. The TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Lashley, is in the ring, and damn, Lashley though. I mean, how good did he look? I'm saying how good did he look, like I pretty much have like a male audience here, so I don't think you'd respond back to that. But no, the guy was like so swagged up, like he was all in black, and you know, he had like this cool t-shirt on with the rips. I was like, yes. I mean, you already know, like, Lashley's my kind of guy, but then he, like, turned up like that, and I was like, oh, okay, I see you. Just felt like that hat didn't have to be there because it kind of just took away from him being a badass. And this sun though, can this sun leave me alone? Another excuse to wear my sunglasses. Here's where we see a new face in TNA. He's interrupted by a former UFC heavyweight champion, Josh Barnett. Barnett tells Lashley he isn't worthy of holding the TNA World Heavyweight Championship and needs to be taught a lesson. Lashley says that unlike MMA, there are no rules in Impact Wrestling. Barnett challenges Lashley for the world title, and Lashley agrees to it. He also got him in an arm lock, which was pretty cool to see. Again, I don't really know who this guy is, and this is not being disrespectful. I'm just very oblivious to everything else. I just don't really have an interest in MMA or anything, to be honest. I suck, right? Before some keyboard warrior and troll comments down saying that I'm ignorant and I live in a bubble, I trained in Taekwondo for a whole entire year and got my green belt. Thank you very much. So I'm not ignorant to anything. I like what I like. Main event time. Now, I totally forgot that we were going to see Anything Goes street match tonight street fight, sorry. They didn't really promote it. Eddie Edwards comes out and Angelina introduces the American Wolf. I felt like this was Maria all over again, the way she introduces Mike Bennett, but it wasn't, because the American Wolf, Davey Richards, came from behind. This match was so entertaining. So much happened, and I was all for this match. Did you see Eddie fly though? Who was right in there with the crowd. That was pretty awesome. Angelina Love with the steel chair. Things just, they got even more interesting at that point. Angelina Love hands the steel chair to Eddie. Eddie turns around. Davey already has a steel chair. Bam! 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 Alicia comes out, jumps on Davey, and then Angelina Love and her get into it. Angelina takes her out and then handcuffs her to the ropes. Now remember, we have some steel chairs here in the ring, so you know what goes down. But Eddie Edwards goes on top of Alicia to protect her from getting hurt, and he gets multiple shots from Davey by the steel chair. Angelina puts a steel chair on Eddie's head, and then Davey goes in with that. It was a pretty brutal match. And if it couldn't get any better, Earl Hebner was gonna count down for the pin. Angelina kicks him in the crotch though, and Angelina counts Davey's pin. Such a great match. It was a great ending. Come on, kicking Senior Earl Hebner, the Hall of Famer. You know you're gonna hear a lot of boos when you kick the ref, especially when it's Earl Hebner. Such a good match. Come on, it was just so action-packed. So much was going on. Shane Helms' tweet from last night just summed it all up. It was just great to see. And if you haven't watched Impact and you're just here to see the sun blinding me, go and watch it. I just don't know why people turn a blind eye to Impact and then complain about whatever else they watch. It's almost like, oh, I don't watch TNA because I'm too cool to watch TNA. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can keep up with me on Twitter at nonstopshariya. And I'm sorry about the sun blinding my face, but just getting my vitamin, you Americans say vitamin. In England, we say vitamin. I can't with these words. Thanks for watching. See you next week.